comes to talk. Okay, Kamala Harris has just destroyed her campaign. I mean, it's over for Kamala Harris with what she's done. And what she has going on now, it's very similar to John Kerry in 2004 when he ran against George W. Bush. This is Kamala Harris's swift boat moment, and it all involves Arlington. So, what President Trump has put together is just fantastic. He's put together, which I'm going to play for you in just a moment, a collection of the parents of the American service personnel who are dead because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and their botched Afghan withdrawal. The families invited Trump to go to Arlington, and then somehow they got it in their mind, the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Obama team, to go after Trump, like he was doing something that was wrong, even though he was invited. And it's completely backfired on Kamala Harris. There's an article today. Kamala Harris posted a lengthy statement on social media Saturday in which she accused President Trump of using dead soldiers as political props and also questioned his respect for veterans. And before we play the video, let me share with you what Willie Brown's girlfriend said. This is what she posted on X, okay? Kamala Harris. As vice president, I have had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It is a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice. It is not a place for politics, even though ever since Trump went there with the families at their invitation, all Kamala Harris has done is made it a political issue. And yet, back to Kamala's post here on X, and yet, as was reported this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Let me be clear, the former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. Again, she's politicizing it. This is nothing new from Donald Trump. Okay, I'm not going to read all this stuff, but she did say this. This is nothing new from Donald Trump. This is a man who has called our fallen service members suckers and losers. That is not true. General Kelly made that up. Okay, everyone knows this, but they just continue with the lie. A man who, during a previous visit to the cemetery, reportedly said of fallen service members, "I don't get it. What was in it for them?" This is all nonsense. These are all made-up lies. Everyone knows these things are lies. And Kamala goes on here. A man during a this is a man who is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. If there is one thing on which we as Americans can all agree, it is that our veterans, military families, and service members should be honored, never disparaged, and treated with nothing less than our highest respect and gratitude. It is my belief that someone who cannot meet this simple sacred duty should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States of America. I will always honor the service and sacrifice of all of America's fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our beloved nation and our cherished freedoms. I mourn them and salute them, and I will never politicize them, as she continues to politicize them. Okay? Donald Trump was invited there, okay? These service personnel are dead because of her and Biden's incompetence with the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan. There is no question about that. Does anyone disagree with that? They had when Trump was in office that last year, we lost not a single person. Because, remember, he tells that picture all the time where he showed the guy the picture of his house. Why you show me picture of my house, Your Excellency? Remember that he tells that story a lot. And so some of the parents of the fallen that invited President Trump to Arlington have made videos, and President Trump has shared these videos on his X. So the tweets are back. I'm so glad President Trump is back on Twitter, back on X. President Trump was invited there by the families of the fallen. Okay, so this is the first video. This is Christy Shamblin, the mother-in-law of one of those who fell. Okay, listen.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome...
Now listen, isn't this interesting? Murder. Murder. That's a very interesting word that you do not often hear. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard it before when it comes to the death of service personnel. Of you? She calls it murder. Who's the murderer? I think she's saying Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are the murderers. What do you think?
This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. And President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
Wow, and you can hear she's broken up, the grief. I mean, it's sad. Sad. That's right. I mean, this is powerful stuff. I mean, these videos, which, by the way, this is trending on X right now. So this is the beginning of the end. The next video is Herman Lopez, the father of Corporal Hunter Lopez.
Good afternoon. My name is Herman Lopez. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Ghost Star families have not seen any support from you or your administration.
Unbelievable.
You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you would like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Ghost Star father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Ghost Star families. Please stop making these types of comments because that support has not been demonstrated. Your words are hollow and empty. My other request is that for the American public to know that these messages, these promises from Kamala Harris, especially in regard to supporting the military and our military families, are false and baseless. They have not been proven, and she has not earned our respect. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, these are powerful videos. I've never seen anything like this, ever. Have you? I mean, these poor parents. I mean, they you know, your child's in the military. They're young. They're in their 20s. They've lost everything. Why? Because Kamala Harris is stupid and incompetent, and Joe Biden just doesn't give a freak. That's it. They won't even talk to these people. Here they are, not only inviting President Trump to honor and remember their children with them, but even after that, after Kamala Harris has politicized this whole thing at Arlington, they're coming out and making these videos in support of President Trump. I've never seen anything like this before. This is really a historic moment in the history of American presidential campaigns. By the way, if you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe, okay? The next video, Jim McCullum, he's the father of Lance Corporal Riley McCullum.
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. How do you sleep at night knowing it was you, this administration, you and Biden, you being the last one in the room, are responsible for the death of our 13 kids? You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me.
Wow.
You have failed in your duties as vice president. You have been nothing but disrespectful to me and the families of the 13. Yet you're claiming that you will always be respectful and show respect for our fallen. You've been absent for 3 years and 8 months. You've proven that you're not capable to do the job that you have, let alone the job that you seek. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you can hear the grief in all their voices. I mean, this is really, I've never seen, have any of you seen anything like this before? Nothing like this has ever happened. And, you know, Kamala Harris and whoever is on her team just made a big mistake with this one. They really did. I mean, you know, they're the ones who politicized this. They didn't do the least bit of research to find out that President Trump was actually invited here by these families, that they want him to be there, that they're honored that he came. So, and they're very upset that, you notice there's a common theme. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden haven't met with them, haven't called them, haven't talked to them, don't know who they are. This video is Mark Schmitz. He's the father of Lance Corporal Jared M. Schmitz.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. Here we are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris, trying to incite those that don't follow the truth that President Trump was in Arlington as a political stunt. Shows you how much you know about the 13 families. We invited him to be there. Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. Imagine for a second that your kid is killed, and there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden. You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud in the halls of Congress, at a State of the Union, hell, anything. The irony behind your post that you give a rat's ass about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And I pray to God, Americans, wake the hell up and get your ass out of office. You have spit in our face for the last fucking time.
Wow. I got to tell you, I'm cheering up a little bit here. I have a daughter who's about the same age that their kids are, and J.D. Vance was talking about the country's being run by childless cat ladies. My God, there's more. This is the problem. This is not a knock against those of you that don't have children. This is a knock against Kamala Harris, okay? Being a childless cat lady like Kamala Harris, what J.D. Vance means by that is that someone like Kamala, because she doesn't have kids, doesn't relate, doesn't understand. She cares about herself and what elevates her on this very day to the next place she wants to be. And the reason I'm tearing up, and some of you probably are too, listening to these Gold Star parents, is because if you have kids, you connect, you relate, you think about, my God, what would my life be without my child? But she can't do that. There's a lot of people here that may not be familiar with what Gold Star families are. Just say, I believe it started during the Second World War. It may have started in the First, but I think it started in the Second World War. When in the Second World War, when someone lost a child in the war, they would put a flag with a gold star on it in the window. That's where it became. And sometimes they had flags that had 2 or 3 stars on it. And that's what a Gold Star family is. Wow. This is something like I've never seen before. I'm not sure how to pronounce this gentleman's last name. Steve McCoy, he'll say it. He's the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Well, he'll pronounce his name properly.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui.
Cooey. Okay. Cooey. This is Steve Cooey, father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui. And your administration killed my son. Deliberately in exchange for political theatrics, so you could have a final day of the evacuation coincide with September 11th. Ignoring the advice of your generals, the Doha Agreement, and countless other veterans and members of Congress. Denying the safety of the Afghans and the servicemen and women. Your choice to play politics in 2021 killed 170 Afghans, 13 U.S. service members, and wounded 45 of our service members, as well as countless Afghans. You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name, so I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president.
Wow.
And contrary to our kids, the worst that America has to offer. I will pray for you, that God has mercy on your soul.
My goodness. Has anyone in the chat room seen anything like this whatsoever? This is, In 2004, when George W. Bush was running for re-election against John Kerry, they made an entire movement out of one Gold Star parent, Cindy Sheehan, a year or two, just one. Now we have a lot. See what the media does with this in this news cycle. You know, this all came out last night. What I'm sharing with you, this came out last night. So I'm curious to see how the mainstream media handle this over this Labor Day weekend news cycle. You know, wow, these are just so powerful. How could you not be moved by this? CNN had a crew permanently assigned to Cindy Sheehan. And by the way, she met with President Bush, and her grievance is she wanted to talk to him again. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden haven't met or talked to any of these parents. This is Jacqueline Schmitz. She is the mother of Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration.
Back to this murder. This is the first time. President Trump said it the other night, but this incident is the first time I've heard murder used against service personnel we've lost in war zones. And remember, when they say murder, they mean Kamala Harris and Joe Biden murdered their children.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well. What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration, because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies. Just like your statement, more and more spun lies and cover-ups to make you and your administration look good. But there is one thing that you said in your statement that was true. No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
Wow, I mean, these Gold Star parents, I mean, this is... I wonder if they'll even share this with Kamala Harris. By the way, welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Please subscribe. You'll love my content, I promise. And what we're doing here is these are the parents of the these are the Gold Star parents of those who were lost during Kamala Harris's and Joe Biden's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, who invited President Trump to Arlington National Cemetery the other day to honor and remember their children. And since Kamala is out there accusing Donald Trump of politicizing it, these Gold Star parents made these powerful, very emotional videos setting the record straight that they invited Trump and that she is a murderer of their child. This next video, this is Coral Doolittle, C-O-R-A-L, Coral Doolittle. She's the mother of Corporal Humberto A. Sanchez.
My name is Coral Doolittle. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like my when President Trump went and paid tribute and paid his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones burying there. It was for all of our kids. And it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him. And it's not the first time that he actually like meet with us and share time and with our families. After 3 years until now, like Kamala Harris and President Biden didn't even say their 13 names. They called the withdrawal in Afghanistan a success. And for us, it was just sadness and a disgrace. They are the responsible persons of murdering our kids. And until this day, they did not give us a meeting. They did not accept to meet with us and give us an explanation of what happened. Being him the commander-in-chief, he definitely left our kids behind and just to fill the agenda of his prior commitments. I invite Kamala Harris and Joe Biden to accept the meeting with us and meet with us and explain us what was the whole deal behind the withdrawal in Afghanistan. I think that as a parents, we deserve a explanation and we deserve the truth of what happened with our kids that day.
Yeah. You know, in this country, there are certain people in this country we put up on a certain level. You don't criticize. Gold Star parents are one of those groups of people. This next video. This is Darren Hoover. He's the father of Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding.
Wow.
The events that happened on August 26, 2024, with President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery were solemn and in keeping with the reverence and respect that is given to all members of our military that are buried there. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken at the tomb of the unknown soldier. This was a very solemn wreath laying in our son's name, along with the Sergeant Nicole G family, as well as two of our catastrophically injured military members that were there on that horrific day in the honor of our Abbey Gate 13. We then moved to the gravesite where our children are buried. Again, we asked the Trump team to take the videos, take the pictures of our time there. President Trump then laid a wreath at the grave side of Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Christian Knaus. There he talked to both his mother and father. President Trump then moved to our son's grave where we were surrounded by our family and friends, where we talked about Taylor and his sacrifice to this country. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross. President Trump has been there for us from the very beginning when our son and the other 12 of his brothers and sisters in arms were murdered due to your negligence and uncaring attitude towards our military. Don't forget, Kamala, you were the last one in the room. You and Joe Biden made the final decision on how to pull out of Afghanistan. You created the chaos and mayhem for the military to accomplish their goals. Our sons and daughters made the best of a difficult situation, as they had been trained to do. They adapted and overcame all of that and came out as heroes, something that you will never know or understand. Kamala, we have been treated with the utmost respect, compassion, and understanding by President Trump, something you and Joe Biden have refused to do since August 26, 2021. No, where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you have done for the last 3 years. Neither one of you have called to speak with us or share in our grief. I wonder, Kamala, do you sleep at night securely in your bed? Or do you have nightmares of our kids because it was your incompetence and negligence that got our kids murdered? It is you who sends out messages on social media that are outright lies. It is you that has disrespected our families. It is you who knows nothing about service and sacrifice. It is you that has divided this country, and it is you who is unfit to be the commander-in-chief. These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day. You should be ashamed and embarrassed at your lack of empathy and decency as a human being. You are only in this for the power and prestige. You don't care for our military or the citizens of this country. You should hang your head in shame at your actions or lack thereof. You need to move aside, get out of the way, and stop hindering the progress, growth, and independence of this great nation.
I mean, there's not only are these things incredibly. That's the last video. If you just are joining us, these are videos made by the Gold Star families that were with the president that invited President Trump to Arlington last week, and they're pretty pissed off at Kamala Harris, as you can hear. So if you missed that, you can rewind to the beginning of the stream and listen to all of them. This is incredibly damaging. I mean, this is something that she cannot move away from. This is something that's going to follow Kamala Harris for the rest of this campaign. You know, Gold Star families have a status in the United States that is equal by really, it's a special status. And when they talk, it means something. And especially after in the Bush-Kerry race 20 years ago, the Democrats made such a big deal about Cindy Sheehan. And now we have this, right? We have a whole bunch of parents. You know how tough it is for them to make those videos? Whew. Insane. I'm going to go through some. Yeah, it's insane that they have not. That Kamala Harris and Biden have not even spoken to them or said the names of their children out loud in public. Now they can't, right? They're if they do it now, they're afraid that Trump pushed them into doing this. So they're going to disrespect. Kamala Harris is going to disrespect these families and their fallen children even more out of her ego. One of the most important things you look for in a president is good judgment. And you look at this campaign, everything Kamala has done that she's been involved in decision-making with has been a disaster. The choice of Tim Walz as her running mate, everything she's done, any decision she's been involved in the campaign's a disaster, which shows she's unfit. And now here we have an American hostage dead, an American kidnapped by Hamas during the October 7th massacre is among 6 hostages found murdered in Gaza. Hirsch Goldberg Poland, age 23, was recovered from a tunnel in Gaza on Saturday, 10 months after his abduction. During the attack that killed 1,200, by the way. So here we have an American hostage killed by Hamas. And what is Kamala Harris doing? She's out there trying to get the support of people in this country that support Hamas. What is she going to say about this? Yeah, exactly. Now, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. If you've already subbed to the channel, if you could like the video, that helps spread the word about the channel as well. So please subscribe and like the video. Now, Tim Walz, who is a disaster, I mean, he is just a disaster. You know it's bad when his brother is out there attacking him. This is in the New York Post. Tim Walz is not the type of character who should make decisions about America's future, his older brother has warned in a series of Facebook comments this week. Jeff Walz declared Friday evening this: I am 100% opposed to all his ideology. This is his brother, Tampon Tim Walz. He also has little faith in his kid brother, writes the New York Post. Jeff Walz is considering publicly endorsing President Trump, even possibly getting on stage with President Trump. I mean, this is... I mean, you know, if anybody out there that's watching me right now is going to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, does it not give you any pause that his own brother says he shouldn't be running anything, that he's dangerous? Doesn't that make you wonder? I mean, the brother knows him better than you do. You don't even know this guy. He's been in the public scene just for a little bit of time. His own brother says he's dangerous. How could anyone vote for a guy whose own brother is warning America, don't vote for my brother, he's dangerous? Oh, my goodness. So Kamala Harris, her campaign is still vacuous of any agenda, and the media have been talking the last couple days since that disastrous interview that she did on CNN. They're calling this a vibes campaign, V-I-B-E-S, a vibes campaign. You know, this isn't about issues, even though inflation is over 50%. I made a YouTube short yesterday. It's on my channel here. I went to the grocery store to pick up milk, coffee creamer, and something for dinner. And I went around and showed some of the prices. Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe how much things were at the grocery store. I would have shown more, but I only had, you know, in a YouTube short, 60 seconds. What are people doing? They're sacrificing. They're going without. That's what they're doing. And when people are struggling and suffering to feed their children and trying to scrape together enough money to put gas in the car, a vibes campaign just ain't going to do it. So CNN had one of their contributors on. They call this guy a presidential historian, and he's talking about Kamala Harris's vibes campaign. Listen.
You talk to Democrats about where the vice president stands on specific things. You hear from some saying, look, don't get into the weeds on the policy issues. Focus about character. Focus on values, as the vice president repeatedly said last night. Is that an effective strategy? Not actually detailing an agenda, but instead kind of talking more 30,000 foot?
It has been effective in American history. Franklin Roosevelt ran on the New Deal. Of course, he was running at a time of economic collapse.
FDR was not running a vibes campaign, okay? He had a specific legislative agenda, the New Deal, okay? And all the works programs and everything else. Well, thank you for that $2 super chat. Tim Walz abandoned his unit to dodge deployment. Absolutely. Thank you for that super chat. So to compare FDR's campaign in 1933 to Kamala's from this presidential historian is 100% a false comparison.
It has been effective in American history. Franklin Roosevelt ran on the New Deal. Of course, he was running at a time of economic collapse, and he was running against an incumbent. But he didn't actually say what the New Deal was. Indeed, his ideas about what a New Deal should be in 1932 would be very different by the time it was 1934 or 35. John F. Kennedy ran promising to make the country move again. Well, how vague is that? He ran a vibes campaign for the most part in 1960. Richard Nixon in 1968 promised to end the war in Vietnam, but didn't say how he would do it. He said he had a secret plan. he was as vague as he could be, again, saying, I'm different from the people in power.
You know, this guy just compared Willie Brown's girlfriend to President Kennedy, Franklin Roosevelt. I mean, my goodness. These are all misinterpretations and lies.
I'm different from LBJ. And 2008, Barack Obama promised change. He did promise some policy changes, of course, but he was basically saying, we've had enough with the Bush administration. We've had enough with its wars. So historically, a vibes campaign can be very effective, a campaign that is light on policy.
See, that's not true. A vibes campaign, which I've never heard of before. The guy's right that Obama was vague, but we knew what he was about. He was a Marxist. He had a history of legislation and things that he had supported, but he was running on, I'm the first black president. That's a little more than vibes, okay? It's not, but compare, this guy with a straight face is comparing Kamala Harris to Franklin Roosevelt and President Kennedy.
Can be effective. The challenge, of course, for Vice President Harris is that she's actually in the administration at the moment. So she is going to have to tighten how she explains balancing the green economy with old economy jobs that you don't want to go away. She has to explain a little bit better how she's going to approach the border issue and why it took 3 years.
We know how she's going to approach the border. She's an incumbent. This guy's acting like she's not an incumbent. She's in office now. We know exactly what she's going to do. This is not a vibes campaign. It's very specific. She's going to keep the border open. She's going to keep prices going up. She's going to overrun this country with illegals. She's going to pander more to the Islamic terrorists than she's doing now. We're living through what Kamala Harris has done, and this guy's acting like there's some future here. These people are out of their freaking minds. By the way, new poll out of Pennsylvania, President Trump leading in Pennsylvania, in case you didn't know that. And now Minnesota, where Tim Walz is governor, is a solid Democrat blue state, okay? Walter Mondale was from Minnesota. Al Franken, Minnesota, right? But she's ahead of Trump in Minnesota, a solid blue state. However, her lead has been cut in half, which means Donald Trump has a 50% gain in Minnesota. I'm not saying Minnesota's in play, but it very well may be in play. $2 super chat, thank you. Kamala Sutra, the new LBJ without the... I like that. That's a good one. Thanks for that super chat. It's appreciated. Kamala Harris has a duty as vice president to invoke the 25th Amendment if the president of the United States is unfit, right? Which obviously he is. Do you know that Biden hasn't had a full cabinet meeting in a year? A year without a cabinet meeting, full cabinet meeting. Who's running the country? No, the country's not being run by a single person. It's being run by little kingdoms here and there. This person's running this person's running the military, this person's running this department. She has a constitutional duty to step in with the 25th Amendment and remove this guy if he's not capable. A cabinet meeting, it's been a year since they've had a full cabinet meeting. Come on. And there's a lot of other things going on in this country that people are fed up with, this gender stuff. In Vermont, the health department in Vermont, this is an example of one of the things that people are fed up with. The health department in Vermont is now telling their employees and others not to use the term son or daughter. It's too gender specific. All this gender crap that's going on, the inflation, the high gas prices, the high food prices, the invasion, the crimes, the rapes and murders of Americans, these people being held hostage in their apartment buildings in Colorado by Kamala's Venezuelan gangs, okay, that she's sent there. There's so much crap going on in this country. None of it's good, brought to you by Kamala Harris. And the people in this country are very smart, and they see this. And the media can continue to promote whatever crap they want to promote. but people see what is going on. And if you remember Jeremiah Wright, Obama's pastor, baptized his daughters, married him to Kamala, even introduced him to Kamala, many say. Kamala's got her own racist pastor. Listen to this. This is in frontpagemag.com. Kamala Harris pastors says greed, bigotry, and too many whites with this evil, brutal system built the American economy. She has this. Let me see if I can play this. Let me play. This is Reverend Amos Brown. He is Kamala Harris's pastor.
On August 28th, 1955, the body of Emmett Till, that 14-year-old youngster, same age as I was found in the Tallahatchie River after he had been brutally beaten by these two white men. So, really, America has not changed. And this sin of race is so deep, so pervasive in the body politic of America, that if we don't find a remnant to help turn things around, America is going to go down.
You're talking about all of these deaths, and it's like those people didn't do anything. And
No.
now we're still not doing anything, but we're still getting killed.
That's it.
So when will it stop? What is it about us black people that is getting the white people, even though we built America?
It's greed, bigotry, and too many whites with this evil, brutal.
Did you hear that? This is Kamala Harris's pastor. There's too much greed and too many whites. Now, just before I finish this, though, I want to talk. Emmett Till, by the way, was murdered by Democrats. Emmett Till is like these Gold Star parents. He's put on a special place in this country. And what happened to him was god awful. And for this monster to say that in today's America, it's just like it was when Emmett Till was killed. Are you kidding me? We've had a black president elected and reelected. The vice president of the United States is not white, whether she's Indian or black. She wouldn't even say she was black to Dana Bash when Dana Bash brought this up the other day. But she's not white. And to say that this country is the same as it was when Emmett Till was murdered, this guy is hardcore anti-white racist. And this is Kamala Harris's pastor.
America. That if we don't find a remnant to help turn things around, America is going to go down.
You're talking about all of these deaths, and it's like those people didn't do anything. And
No.
now we're still not doing anything, but we're still getting killed.
That's it.
So when will it stop? What is it about us black people that is getting the white people, even though we built America?
It's greed, bigotry, and too many whites with this evil, brutal system build the American economy by making cotton king, are indifferent, are in a state of denial about really what was done. Yes, but you see, that's what all of the brouhaha is about in America, about critical race theory. Because the oppressors do not want the world to know who we really are. They have developed this caricature. They have developed this distorted image of us. And that narrative is what has given them this false sense of superiority and arrogance. But
This guy's living in Mississippi in 1850 in his mind. He doesn't understand where we are. Cotton king. Okay, I know that was a saying, cotton's king. If cotton was truly king, the Democrats of the Confederacy would have won the Civil War. If cotton was king, the North would have lost because the South lost because they had no industry. To say this country was built by slaves played a role, no doubt about it. But this country was not built by cotton. It was built by industry in the North where there was not slavery. Okay, that's why we had the Civil War. It was over slavery. Don't let anybody tell you that it was not about slavery. It was about ending slavery. Some say states' rights. Oh, it wasn't about slavery. It was about states' rights. Yeah, the states' rights to allow the ownership of black people. And remember that the Civil War, more accurately, is titled The Democrat Insurrection Against the Federal Government. And even if you go back to the time of the Civil War, they refer to the U.S. The Northern troops as federal troops, right? How many times have you heard that? Federal troops. Lincoln was a Republican. The party was new, the first Republican president. The Republican Party was founded as an abolitionist party to abolish slavery. At least 1 million Americans died in the Civil War. That's a lot of people, especially when the population was as small as it was. Let me see, what was the population in 1860? Okay, right now we have over 300 million in the country, right? In 1860, the population was 31,443,000. Wow. Wow. That's insane. It's insane. And you take 1 million out of that, that's a big loss. And they lost their lives to end slavery, and the Democrat Party took up arms, tried to form their own country, and raised an army up against the federal government and had an insurrection to maintain slavery. And a lot of white people died freeing the slaves. And this guy, Kamala Harris's pastor, talks this way. It's really a very sad, disgusting, man, her pastor. If you went to a church and the pastor talked that way, what would you do? I know what I would do. I'd get the hell out of there. I'd never go back. You know, Jeremiah Wright talked this way. Oprah used to go to that church, and when he started talking that way, she got out. Not Obama. Obama stayed there. Oh, yeah, it'd be like 10 million today. Yeah, that's exactly right, JP. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. Those of you that are already sub, please like the video. That helps grow the channel a lot. And if you'd like to support my channel, go to mypillow.com. Use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com. You can save up to 80% off of some of the most popular MyPillow products. It's free shipping on orders over $75. The MyPillow that started it all, I was sleeping on mine last night, just $19.98 with my promo code Kane. The MyPillow towel set, which I dried off with this morning, just $25 for the MyPillow 6-piece towel set. The MyPillow sheets that I was sleeping on tonight, just $25. And the MyPillow mattress, I have a MyPillow mattress now. Just got it a couple weeks ago. It is, I cannot, you know, Mike Lindell changed my life with all of his products. I didn't think I could sleep any better than I was with all of Mike Lindell's stuff. And I got the MyPillow mattress 2 weeks ago. It will change your life. The MyPillow mattress with my promo code Kane is 50% off plus another $100 off top of that. So it's 50% off plus another $100 off just for the Labor Day weekend. This is a Labor Day special. So, yeah, I don't know what it is about that mattress, but it is I don't know how Mike Lindell does it. It will change the way you sleep. See how well rested I am? It's because of all these great MyPillow products. That mattress, again, 50% off MyPillow mattresses plus another $100 off with my promo code Kane at checkout. Kane. That's Kane at checkout. And when you, of course, use my promo code Kane, Kane, you are supporting my content, my channel, and everything that I bring to you. So thank you so much. So the Halo Pro $2 super chat. You are not muted, or we wouldn't be able to see you unless you were spamming. There was someone. I did mute 2 people who were spamming. So that may have been you or one of those 2. So if you're muted, it's because you were spamming the chat. This interview that Kamala did, okay, on CNN with Dana Bash was so devastating that the bookies have dropped her. Listen to this. Breitbart, Kamala went from being the favorite to win with odds of 10 to 11, which is a 52.4% chance of beating Trump on Thursday, tied on Friday, according to Star Sports Betting. But now the bookies are dropping her. She's so bad they're dropping Kamala, and they had her as the favorite, and now they've dropped her. They no more bets on Kamala. That's amazing. That really truly is. And I know a lot of people look at that as a poll because they figure, well, the bookies aren't going to risk their money, right? They're not going to risk their money. So people often look to the bookies for answers, and I've never seen them drop someone like that. Now, at the beginning of the stream, I was playing the Gold Star families from Arlington. They were praising President Trump, calling out Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden. He was asked over the weekend about Trump's visit to Arlington.
Mr. President, what do you think of President Trump's behavior at Arlington Cemetery?
Behavior.
The visit to
Hear that question from the reporter? Trump's behavior. The Gold Star families from Afghanistan, they invited him. They're praising President Trump for being there and the way he carried himself.
Mr. President, what do you think of President Trump's behavior at Arlington Cemetery with the visit to the fallen soldiers? I don't want to answer things.
You hear that? He can't even speak. You can't even understand what the guy is saying. I mean, he is so out of it. And Kamala Harris has a constitutional duty to intervene. Okay? Has a constitutional duty to intervene, and she doesn't. She's committing a crime by not doing that, a major crime. Not only is she committing a crime by doing that, she's taking part in a very serious crime known as elder abuse. You ever heard of elder abuse? It's a big deal. I'm in Florida. It is a huge deal here in Florida. You get charged and convicted of elder abuse, you're in big trouble. It's one of the big ones, way up there, one of the big crimes. But these Gold Star families coming out in support of Trump. This is going to be a cycle this week. President Trump released this over the weekend because over a holiday weekend, the news is slow. The news is desperate for news stories on a holiday weekend. This is 3 days, Labor Day weekend. America is shut down until Tuesday. So there's not a lot of news. So he's feeding the news. President Trump, one of the things that he's best at is marketing. He's a marketing genius. And he knows how to troll the media like no one's business. And he knows how to take command of the news cycle. And I'm so glad he's back on X, back on Twitter. I've wanted him back there because Twitter, don't you guys agree that X is where the news is driven these days? It is, right? Many millions watched those videos that I shared at the beginning of the stream. So he is taken over the news cycle with this. This is Smirkanish on CNN with one of the Gold Star parents, Christy Shamblin, mother-in-law of Marine Corps Sergeant Nicole Guy Shamblin. Listen.
We invited both President Trump and the Biden-Harris administration, and we didn't hear back from the White House. We were happy to welcome President Trump to lay wreaths with all three of our families and some of our wounded from that day. And when he came to Section 60, it was at our request to spend time with our loved ones. There was not a press presence there. We privately took pictures among ourselves. And it was, a more celebratory feeling for that day because, we want to celebrate our loved ones, and it's very hard to find ways to do that at a cemetery. But they were very respectful. We didn't see any altercation, and really we just want our loved ones to be honored and remembered in a positive way.
Wow. These are just so powerful, And here you have Kamala just lying to try to sound normal that she worked at McDonald's. And I know a lot of people may say, well, who cares that she lied about working at McDonald's? You've got Stolen Valor Tim Walz. Now she's got this Stolen Valor McDonald's story, okay? If she would lie about working at McDonald's, something that means nothing, what else would she lie about? President Trump posted on True Social, he says, Comrade Kamala Harris lied about working at McDonald's. She never worked there. They think she's nuts, they being McDonald's. Likewise, she lied about fracking, the border, crime, the economy, and the Democrat suckers and losers hoax concerning our great military. She also lied about Arlington Cemetery and Afghanistan. She lies about everything. DJT. That is exactly right. She is a liar, and she does nothing but lie about everything. She lies so much she doesn't even know that she's lying. Does that make sense to you? No, she has no idea she's lying. She is that far gone. She's very dangerous. Her and Tampon Tiananmen Square Tim Walz would be just incredibly destructive. Pathological. Yeah, crash effort. Pathological. That's right. Pathological lying is a sickness. It's a sickness, and she's got it. And she's got it bad, too. I mean, she's got it really, really bad. Yeah. But what do you guys think of Tulsi Gabbard? You guys like Tulsi Gabbard? And here she is on the Trump campaign. And what Trump has done with Tulsi Gabbard with the debate is just such a masterful psychops that he's running on Kamala Harris, right? Because she got run out of her campaign 4 years ago. She had to drop out of the presidential campaign, Kamala Harris, because she got her clock cleaned by Tulsi Gabbard in the debate. So Trump has this story that Tulsi, who has joined the campaign, we've seen them together. He did an event with her the other day. He's doing debate prep with her, and this has got to have Kamala freaked out. She's going to get confronted by the girl that ran her out of the last presidential race. And I promise you, President Trump is going to walk in with Tulsi Gabbard, and he's going to have her sitting in a spot where Kamala's going to have to look at her all night during the debate. Here's a clip. This is Tulsi Gabbard talking about who's running the country.
The troubling part about all this is it's not even people who we vote for. When you look at what happened when President Biden had that infamous debate with President Trump, it exposed the reality that many of us have known for a long time, which is that President Biden has not been the guy calling the shots. He has not been the guy making the decisions, nor has it been Kamala Harris, for that matter, nor will it be if she is elected president. It is this cabal of, the Democrat elite, the woke warmongers, made up of the likes of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and, Tony Blinken and Jake Sullivan and, people who are in the military-industrial complex, people who profit from us being in a constant state of war. It is those in the administrative state, in the national security state, who derive more authorities and ability to take away our liberty when we are in a heightened state of crisis or war. It is their friends and billionaires and people in media who all derive their power from being able to have a figurehead that essentially they can control. And the most troubling part about, there's so many things wrong with this, of course, but really at the most fundamental level, you look at, our country is the oldest democracy in the world, but the reality of a truly functioning and thriving democracy that has brought to life the vision that our founders had for us, that we really have a government of, by, and for the people, and that we have the ability and responsibility, for that matter, to ensure that the government we have only exists with the consent of the governed. That becomes very hard to do, to hold people accountable when the person that you voted for is certainly not the one making the decisions.
Wow. I mean, is that what yeah. And you remember, Tulsi Gabbard's an insider, Democrat insider. So she knows what's really going on. This isn't just some guy like me just saying, well, this is what, she's an insider. She knows, she's been there. Okay? She's been in those smoke-filled back rooms that the Democrats meet in with all of these, and she's telling us who's running the country and who'll be running it with Kamala. Now, this is Kamala. This clip is two people that I don't like, Kamala and Pence.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Okay. Now, you see this? Now, this is an interesting thing. Kamala wants them to change the debate rules so that the mics are unmuted when they're not speaking. The way it's been set up, and this was Biden's doing, I thought it was strange. He wanted the microphones muted when he wasn't speaking and Trump wasn't speaking. So that's the rules for the next one. So people have been wondering, why is she making such a big deal, Kamala? Why does she want the mics unmuted when it's not her turn? Because she's got one move, and it's this, I'm speaking, I'm speaking. This is this moment with Pence.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Be important if you said the truth.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
See, this is, and she does this over and over. She's got one move. She did it over and over with Pence, okay, and it puts her in this victim thing and a condescending tone. Since she's vacuous and she's got nothing to say, nothing to contribute, everything about her is disastrous. People are dead. Women have been raped because of her. People are being held hostage right now in their apartment buildings in Colorado by her illegal Venezuelan gangs that she's brought here. But she's got this one move, I'm speaking, and she can't do that move if during the debate the mics are muted.
Okay. If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Okay.
Non-answer.
Trying to answer you
The
now.
American people deserve a straight answer.
I will not sit here and be lectured by the Vice President. I'm speaking. Yeah, I'm about to. I will not be lectured by the Vice President.
See? Her one move over and over and over again.
I would.
Yeah, absolutely. No. Now, do you guys like collard greens? I love collard greens. You guys like collard greens? Oh, I'm in the South. Florida's the South. And collard greens are spectacular. How many of you have never had collard greens? Not whether you like them or not. How many of you have never had them? Katina, no. You haven't. Zach hasn't. Rebecca hasn't. Yeah. It's a Southern food. Collard green, you can eat them anywhere, but it's a Southern food. And even in the South, they're not as common as they used to be. Now, here's Kamala trying to act black. She likes to go around and act like she's black, even though when she was asked by Dana Bash about it, she wouldn't say she was black. She always goes around and tells people that she makes collard greens.
I am not lying to you that I would make so many greens that I'd need to wash them in the bathtub. I'm telling you the truth.
So how do you make your greens? Do you put turkey in them? Do you
Bacon.
Bacon. Oh, there's the question, the recipe. Don't ask for the recipe, okay? She doesn't have it. So, I know this sounds... Stu, what are you talking about? First off, who washes vegetables in their bathtub? I've never heard of that before. But Kamala Harris was born in Berkeley, California, the daughter of a Marxist Jamaican man and a Marxist Indian woman. And when she was 11 or 12 years old, her Marxist mother from India, who wore traditional Indian clothing, moved her to Canada. Collard greens are not a big deal in Canada or Berkeley, okay? If she was from Georgia or Florida or Louisiana or Mississippi, yeah, maybe. But in Canada, are Canadians, any of you Canadians or Californians had collard greens? I doubt it. So what is this? It's just it's like the McDonald's lie. She lied in a bathtub. And I know where that comes from, by the way, which I'll tell you in a second. The bathtub. Has anyone ever washed vegetables in a bathtub? But here's the bathtub thing. I remember Tony Robbins Okay, this was in the late 80s, early 90s. This was around 1990. I know that. I saw Tony Robbins on, I'm pretty sure it was Larry King Live, but yeah, what about all that soap scum in the bathtub and everything? Did she scrub it first? Tony Robbins, I saw an interview with him, and this is when I first heard of Tony Robbins, and he said something that I really didn't understand, and I still don't. Maybe you can explain. He said he was so broke that he had to wash his dishes in the bathtub. What's that about? He doesn't have a sink? I mean, if I didn't have a kitchen, I would probably use the sink in the kitchen, not the bathtub. But he used to tell this story all the time that he washed his dishes in his bathtub, Tony Robbins. And I think that's where they got that from. Because that's the only other time I've heard somebody say something about putting things that you either food or you eat food off of in a bathtub. I've never heard of anything like that. But yeah, in fact, she makes her collard greens are so good. People from all around come, and she's making so many, she has to wash them in the bath. They won't fit in the sink. I'd like to see her make some collard greens and then serve them. I'd like to eat them. I'd like to try. I would try them. Gary, $10 super chat. Thank you, Gary, for that. Oh my God! But when, pathological liar. She lies about things that are unimportant. So if she lies about things that are unimportant, what about the big things? Right? Exactly. Well, Hillary Clinton was on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne de God, and she said she carries hot sauce in her purse. What do you think, Mike? If Hillary Clinton were on my show, and she said she carries hot sauce in her purse, what do you think I would ask? What would be the next thing I'd say? That Charlemagne de God did not. What do you think? I'd say, show me the hot sauce, Mrs. Clinton. That's what I'd say. Oh, really? What kind of hot sauce do you carry in that purse? Can I see it? Let me try some of that Hillary Clinton hot sauce. You think there was hot sauce in that purse? Hell no. Hell no, there was no hot sauce in that purse. Exactly. Liar. And Charlemagne, he's a little overrated. Here's a man whose son was murdered by one of Kamala Harris's illegal aliens.
I was a Kamala Harris supporter. That changed after an illegal alien murdered my son, running him over, then driving back and forth over Drew's body 3 times. The man who killed my son had been arrested previously, but Kamala Harris let him go. As San Francisco's DA, Kamala was soft on crime. As a senator, she supported releasing criminal aliens back into our neighborhoods. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this.
Yeah, wow, of this ad. Yeah, that is, that's pretty scary. Pretty scary what she's done. These poor people. And she doesn't care. That's it. The Democrats, it's bad enough what they're doing. They don't even care. They're pissed off at people like him, and they're pissed off at those Gold Star parents today for speaking their mind. They don't care. Now, the Trafalgar group has come out with their latest projection of battleground state polling and national polling on the Electoral College. And this poll is brand new, just came out yesterday. They're giving the Electoral College, remember, you have to have 270 Electoral College votes to win. The Trafalgar Group latest projection, based on the latest battleground polling, gives the election to Trump over Kamala, with Trump winning 296 electoral votes to Kamala's 242. And by the way, they're giving her Georgia in that. That's if she were to win Georgia. You only need 270 to win. They're giving 296 to Trump. Wow. Wow. I hope we get the results early. If we get the results early, when I go to bed early on election night because I got to be on the air in the morning, I'll get up early right here on YouTube. It'll be like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'll do a live stream before I go to the radio station, and we'll begin the celebration. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe And everyone has already said, please do me the favor of liking the video. But Kamala is in a panic. No, she's not winning Georgia, JP. Nope. Kemp has got, Kim's helping Trump now because I'm assuming Kim's got it in his brain that he's going to be the nominee in 4 years. Kemp wants to run for president in 4 years. So he needs Trump's endorsement and he needs us. David, already subscribed. Well, thank you. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, so Kamala, she's desperate to get out of this debate because she can't do that one move she does with, excuse me, I'm speaking. Yeah, but you're not saying a damn thing. Let her speak. Here's Kamala.
Madam Vice President, Donald Trump agreed to 3 debates. Will you be participating in all 3?
I've always been on record. I am looking forward to debating Donald Trump, and we have a date of September 10th. I hear he's finally committed to it. I'm looking.
Yeah, September 10th, and it's the 1st. So we're getting close, guys. We are getting close. That's going to be the beginning of the end. No, she'll debate. She's got to. She's got to. But it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well, especially without her move. Yeah, the latest poll, by the way, this gives Trump the latest poll gives Trump the lead in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. This is the Trafalgar poll. Pennsylvania, they're giving to Trump 47 to 44.9, which is a 2.1 lead. Wisconsin, Trafalgar is giving Wisconsin to Trump 47.3 to 46.2, which gives Trump a lead of 1.1 point. And in Michigan, the latest Trafalgar poll gives it to Trump 47 to 46.6, which is a 0.4 lead. See, now you're starting to notice with the polls is the polls when you get closer to the election, the pollsters they want to try to regain some credibility. So you're starting to get like real polls now, right? The polls are starting to correct. They're not going to give the true lead of Trump. They're going to try to suppress it as much as possible, but they don't want to have it wrong on election day. So a lot of them who care about credibility are starting to come along now and give us some real numbers. Yeah. So this is great, and they've got some. Now this is some other details. Okay, so here's another. Let me pull this one up. Here's a state by state background poll from Nate Silver. Nate Silver is giving Arizona to Trump by 2.2, Michigan to Trump by 1.6. The latest poll has Trump up a point in Minnesota. That's new. North Carolina, Trump leading by 0.8. Trump leading in Pennsylvania, Nevada, Wisconsin, and New Hampshire. So we've, the Trafalgar's giving it to Trump, and of course, Nate Silver has been giving it to Trump in his latest. Nate Silver's this is amazing. Okay, Nate Silver, who's the media tells us is the gold standard. He's the one. They probably aren't saying that too much today because he's giving it to Trump, but Nate Silver and because when you go to the polls, most of the country's already decided you got to go by the battlegrounds, right? We all know this. Nate Silver in the Electoral College is giving it to Trump 55.1 to 44.6. So Nate Silver is giving Trump in the Electoral College 10.5 point lead. That is a massive landslide. That's huge, guys. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Now, if you'd like to support my channel and my content, go to mypillow.com. Use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow is just $19.98 with the promo code Kane right now. The MyPillow pet bed, my cats are sleeping on it right now. The MyPillow pet bed just $25. The MyPillow 6-piece towel set, $25. MyPillow slippers, slides, and sandals, $25. The $25 extravaganza continues. Free shipping on orders over $75. Of course, this is all with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And also, the MyPillow mattress special Labor Day sale. My wife and I just got a MyPillow mattress 2 weeks ago. We got it for 50% off. But now there's a new edition. You get the MyPillow mattresses are 50% off with my promo code Kane, Kane, plus another $100 off of that. Pretty good. 50% off plus another $100 off the MyPillow mattresses with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. So, yeah. Yeah, you can never have enough. We have so many MyPillows because, people come over, they stay over. We want them to have them. We've got all of them. I've got the regular MyPillow, the 2.0, the Giza Elegance pillow. I've got them all. So here is Nancy Pelosi wanting to give free houses to illegals, talking to Bill Maher about it.
The California lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed.
Oh, by the way, here's one of my kittens, one of my rescue kittens. Come here, Pepsi. This is Pepsi. Come here, Pepsi. Pepsi, come here. This is Pepsi. Yes, yes, yes. These are the one of the two rescue. Oh, here's the other one, Coca-Cola. Pepsi. Hey, Pepsi. Now, these kittens, someone dumped them on the side of the road, and a friend of my brother-in-law saw them and rescued them, and they were like a month old when we got them. Hold on, no, don't step on the computer keys. Hold on. And come over here, Coca-Cola. And they're brothers. This is Pepsi. Pepsi-Cola. Come here. Coca-Cola. There's no room for you. Okay. Here comes Coca-Cola. Pepsi is white and Coca-Cola is gray. Pepsi is a camera hog. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Coca-Cola, come here, buddy. Come here, Coca-Cola. Here's Coca-Cola. Say hi, Coca-Cola. I think this might be their YouTube debut since they first came home. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, aren't they cute? Yeah, we had to feed them formula with little bottles and syringes because they were so little when we got them. Yes, yes, yes. And, of course, they are MAGA cats. And actually, Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola, Mark Levin had a dog many years ago named Pepsi that died. He wrote a book about his dog Pepsi, and I love that name. And so I named my cat after Mark Levin's dog, Pepsi-Cola. And since we had two of them, we were thinking of different names, and I said to my wife, what about Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola? So that's what they are. Yep. And our other rescue cat, Luna, that we got about 1.5 years ago, she's become their mother. She takes very good care of them. The three of them sleep together. She grooms them. She takes very good care of them. It's amazing. Yeah, it's cute. I love cats. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not a single cat guy, though. I'm married and I have a child. So, all right. So here's Nancy Pelosi talking to Bill Maher about giving illegals. I call her Queen Luna because she's the queen. She's the mother. This is Nancy Pelosi telling Bill Maher about her support of giving illegals free houses.
The California lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses. That's kind of a different place than the Democratic Party used to be on immigration, is it not? I'm not going to say that's what the country's going to do, but that's certainly...
Someone said, why don't people ever bash Trump's policies? Because there's nothing to criticize. His policies are perfect, that's why.
Where California is.
Well, let me just say, immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to more people. But
the American dream. I was talking about this on yesterday's stream. Democrats believe that these illegals from South America have a right to have their dreams come true. What's your dream? Do you have a right to have it come true?
understand this about immigration. The best speech on immigration was by
President Ronald Reagan. This is the last speech I will make as President of the United States. I want to communicate a message to the country I love. And he talked about the Statue of Liberty and the beacon of hope it is to the world, and what America was preeminent in the world because our door was always open, and we will see.
Yeah, but not to free houses in California.
To be preeminent when we shut the door. Now, I don't do justice to the great communicator. Google it. It's a fabulous speech. And George Herbert Walker Bush continued in that respect for the diversity of America and the rest. California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. But we are very blessed here with beautiful diversity.
You'd vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before your citizen. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented.
Oh, make them citizens. Make them citizens and give them a free house. That's wonderful. Really. These people are out of their minds. They really are. JP, $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. The only way for Trump to avoid bogus jail sentence by Judge Merchan is for the House to nominate him as Speaker and give him immunity. Well, the Supreme Court has already given him immunity. You know, what do you think is going to happen? Trump's team is trying to get that Judge Merchan case moved to federal court. They made a motion to do that over the weekend here. Do you think the judge, this corrupt judge whose daughter took $100 million from Democrats on the promise of putting Trump in jail, do you think this corrupt judge is going to send Trump to jail? I don't mean sentence. He could sentence him to jail and leave it suspended and not, or something. But is he actually going to order him taken to jail from the courthouse? What do you think? Yes or no? You can let me know in the chat if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, you can let me know in the comments. No, yes, yes. Well, the months ago the thought was the Secret Service would never allow it. And now that we've seen what the Secret Service is about, Trump-hating politics, you can't trust the Secret Service not to allow it now, can you? Unsure? Yeah. Guy did nothing wrong. Yeah. Did you guys see my YouTube video I made yesterday? It was a YouTube short about the grocery store prices. I was at the grocery store and made just a YouTube short about it. I showed the prices of a few things. I couldn't believe how high the prices were. And I was just reading an article this morning in yesterday's New York Post about sausage prices. Listen to this. Let me find this. The Texas Manufacturing Outlet Survey released a report this week indicating the climb in sausage sales prices can be considered an indication that the economy is struggling more than consumers realize. We're seeing growth in the dinner sausage category as sausage is a good protein substitute for higher priced proteins and can stretch consumers' food budgets. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, sausage is approximately $6 cheaper than steak, beef steak, they say, providing struggling consumers with a cheaper option. The average price of both sausage and steak has climbed consistently since Kamala took office. Now, I like sausage. I do. I love sausage. You guys like sausage? Oh, yeah. Yes, I like smoked sausage. I like all kinds of sausage. But this is the United States of America. People should not have to eat cheaper types of meat to get by. But Kamala doesn't care. See, that's the thing with Kamala, the Democrat. It's not just that the American people are struggling and upset with Biden and Kamala because they're struggling. It's obvious that they don't care, that they're not going to do anything to make things better. They don't intend to. And if anything, they're just pissed off at everyone for being upset with them that things are so expensive, which is crazy. You know, if Kamala Harris was going to do anything, no, I don't know much about. I don't know anything about meat. I know what I know what I like, what tastes good, what doesn't to me, and and eat it. That's all I know about meat. But that's the sausage people that are saying what I just shared. It's an article in the New York Post. It's on my X. Every story I talk about, I tweet on my X, Brian Craig Show. So you can read the story right there on my X, and then you can, Sausage Gate. You know, if Kamala was actively trying to do things to help the American people, she would be doing a little bit better. But she's not. In fact, she's not doing a damn thing, really, is she? I don't know what she does all day. She doesn't do interviews. She did one. What does she even do all day? Drinks wine, probably. But if the American people saw her trying to do something to make their lives better, she'd be doing a little bit better. But she's not. And she's in power now. She's running this campaign like she's not an incumbent. But she's an incumbent. So all these things, on day one, I want to do this. On day one, I want to do that. Then do them now. People need help now, not next year. If she could fix something or was going to fix it, she'd start doing it now. Especially Christmas will be here before you know it. Doesn't care. Now, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. You'll enjoy my content. And those of you that already said, please like the video. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me on the stream. I'll see you next time. Take care.